Marshmallow Fanboy, back with another review, this time of Namorita from the Marvel's The Void Build-A-Figure wave. The Void, of course, the evil alter ego of the Sentry. I think the Sentry has a split personality, so sometimes he's the Sentry and sometimes he's the Void. I don't think the Void is separate. But he is very kind of cool looking, very sort of Carnage-like or kind of Venom-like. Got a little bit of a sparkly sheen to that torso. Of course, this Namorita is not the Namorita that I really want, but they teased that they knew this wasn't the one that we wanted for our New Warriors collection, but they were like, oh, don't worry, like, it's coming. It's coming. That was, I think this was 2002. If I'm not mistaken, it's now 2005. I haven't heard of Namorita coming out, but of course, from the relaunch New Warriors, and not really from the original lineup of the New Warriors, but of course, from the original lineup, there is Justice. I think he was wearing something different. I got Power Princess, Crystar. Of course, I got Justice, and I got Namorita, but I don't have Vision or Namor, but I do have an impressive collection of parts to build Marvel's The Void, and it looks like one of the things, number 4, Vision, was just some tentacles on the back, so you could probably get Namor, sew it up for the arm, and then you'd probably have a pretty complete Void, even without Vision's part, it looks like. Yeah, it looks like the Vision's part is just sort of the little backpack thing that has extra tentacles on it. But of course, it could be, there's lots of tentacles. I don't know, this thing is sort of a complicated Build-A-Figure, because even if you get all the parts, reassembling them later could mean that you're like, which tentacles are on which side? I don't know. An arm, a leg is easy, because, you know, thumbs and big toes point only one direction, or only on one, you know, can only fit one way, but for the tentacles, they could kind of go anywhere. And of course, no Build-A-Figure part for Black Panther, who for some reason is the Wolverine of this wave, is the Iron Man of this wave, but understandably, he's kind of the coolest character of the wave. He's the most well-known. So leading with a Black Panther is not a bad idea if all these guys are just sort of fill-in. And of course, if you're a fan of the movie, you don't know this version of Vision. If you're a fan of the cinematic universe. But it's very cool. That artwork is right from the comic book, I think. Looks just like it. I mean, the newer comic, not the original. Not the original. But it is a really cool figure with lots of cool face markings on her. It comes with 2 fists. She has 2 sort of swimming hands in. And of course, the hair sort of ethereal, like she's underwater. Very cool. And of course, the Void Build-A-Figure part. And of course, it's not the same on both sides. Same artwork on either side. So you can put that in your bookshelf any way that you feel like doing it. So she looks great in package. And I have not seen her in the wild. I haven't seen her like at the comic store or anything else. So I gotta believe that she's pretty popular. I don't remember my experience. It was probably more than a year ago that I got her, and I just never opened her. So she looks amazing in box. Let's take her out and see what we think of her in person. Okay, now that she's out of the package, let's take a closer look at Namorita. For one, I put a gesturing, I took one gesturing hand off and replaced it with a fist. So she has 2 gesturing hands and 2 fists. Let's see if you can see that. One gesturing hand and 1 fist. So she has a total of 2 gesturing hands and 2 fists. She has several markings on her body, on her face and her arms. She even has sort of some on her thighs, one right across her calf here, some little designs over here. Very cool. I gotta think that they're probably comic book accurate. And of course the wings, really, really nice. The wings, this could be maybe like a Walmart Namor's legs. Maybe a little bit of reuse from that. Could be that because his legs were plain, I think. It was just the trunks up here and the legs were plain. Maybe they did some designs and made it blue. Also, the back of her has 2 holes. I gotta think this is definitely a cape torso. So what I mean by that is a cape definitely plugged in and had that as support. So it's a female body that had a cape at one point, I'm sure. I'm not sure who has capes, who is also female. Designs on this shoulder too. One right across the forearm. Or 2 stripes right across the forearm. The hair could be in the wind, but it's better, I imagine, if it's underwater. And the gloves, very cool. And the suit, I gotta imagine, well, the package showed it was very comic book accurate, but this is a very comic book accurate figure from a very specific time in the New Warriors life. But I'm still hoping for the original Namorita, the one that was in the very first couple of issues of New Warriors. I'm not absolutely sure she was in the first, but I like that version of the character. I'm most familiar with that version of the character. But I think I've gotten every iteration of New Warriors and every lineup, and I've tried it out. Nothing beats that very first one, but I have enjoyed it. So hopefully we're going to get the regular Namorita soon. I wouldn't mind if it was this sculpt and it was just a straight up repaint, but of course that's completely up to the Marvel Legends team. But hopefully that's coming in 2025, aka this year. That's right, I'm opening this figure like 2 years after it came out. So you can probably get her on clearance somewhere, or if you can't, that's cool. You still need her for a very specific collection, but I think that version of New Warriors had enough oddball characters on it that Marvel Legends will never make those characters. So you're probably in good shape not getting this one. But if you're a fan of Namorita, you absolutely should. It's an awesome figure, and it's got a lot of really, really nice detail. So until next time, enjoy your toys.